everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a compilation video, so it will be a voice-overed one, but I just wanted to introduce the video like in person. I mean, that makes no sense, but I just wanted to have a quick like introduction of me actually talking about it like as I'm filming it, not just as me like doing a voiceover over it and probably uploading it in about a week and a half's time, because I'm pretty sure that this compilation is going to be going up in December, and it is currently still only the 24th of November, so it's still quite a while before it'll be going up, but it also gives me quite a while to do it because these videos always take a really long time. But yeah, we're going to have a mixture of hand painted nail art, some glitter, some foil. It's going to be all sorts of different things in this video, so I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching already, and let's get straight into it. For the first nail, it's going to be super easy, just a full coverage foil, so if you're sick of seeing this on my channel then please skip it. We're just applying Nude Mood as the base, a coat of Foil Me from Sparkle Supplies UK, and then just popping the foil on, making sure it's all nice and flat to the nail, and then rubbing it in. I did realise after I did this that this nail was a different shape to all the other ones that I did, so I actually did this nail twice, but I did it the second time off camera just so it matched in the thumbnail, which is really sad, but there you go. So yeah, just putting pressure on everywhere on this nail just to make sure that the foil is really stuck, and then we can top coat, and that is it for this one. Super easy. And then next up, we're going to be doing a decal design. So I'm going to be using some of last year's water decals from Nail Decals by Design. They are really cute. Obviously, it was lockdown last year, so that is why all of these people are wearing masks. They're just really cute. And I think, to be fair, it's still pretty relevant, I suppose the word is. That's not the one I was looking for, but it's still, you know, relatable. So I'm going to go with this. So I'm just popping this into water for a couple of seconds. They really don't take very long to come off the backing, so you don't have to wait long. And I'm using this cute little reindeer with his little mask on. So I'm just going to pop him on the nail, and then I'm going to use a silicone tool to just make sure he's all nice and smooth. And then because my silicone tool has got a bit of dust on and stuff like that, and obviously we've got a tacky layer on the polish, it did make the nail a little bit like messy and dirty as such. So I ended up going in with a lipstick applicator, with a bit of acetone, and just cleaning up the edges. It wasn't a problem at all, and in fact it sort of made the edges blend in even better, so that was a bonus. I don't usually go in with a silicone tool, I just rub my finger over it, but because my finger was covered in glitter and all sorts, I didn't want to put that on there either. But once I've finished pushing it all down and making sure it's all nice and smooth, I can then go in with the next step of the design. And for this one, we're going to have it look like this little reindeer is sat in the snow. So once I've finished that, and then like I said, just going to go and clean up with a little lipstick applicator, a bit of acetone on my brush to make sure it's nice and blended, although it does look even more blended when you top coat as well. So it was really super easy with these decals. They're always really perfectly thin, so they blend really well. But then I'm just going to go in with some white gel polish, and I'm going to pop some on the bottom so it looks like he's sat in some snow. So first of all, I'm just using my brush out of the bottle to do this, so I don't have to waste time using an nail art brush, but obviously if that would be easier for you, then do it that way. So I'm just popping it underneath him so it looks like he's sat right on top, popping some dots above him so it looks like the snow is falling, and then all we need to do for this nail afterwards is top coat. So this one is super simple as well. Next up, we're having Cherry Orchid as the base this time, and I'm going to be using this for the base of a present sort of design. I did change my mind at the very last minute, as you can tell, but I'm just popping some silver glitter along the bottom, so I'm using platinum because it's just beautiful. I'm just popping that along the bottom and then doing a white line across the top of that, and then a white line vertical as well. And then once I've done that, I flash cure the white. I've fully cured the silver so it doesn't leak into my white. I flash cured the white for 10 seconds to keep it there because I was happy with my lines. And then I'm doing my present like bow sort of thing. I did struggle a little bit with it because I was using my long liner. I was just being lazy and I couldn't be bothered to clean off my other brush to use that. So it's my own fault that it was such a faff, but it worked out nice anyway. I liked it in the end, so it's all good. So I'm just doing like the two loops of the bow. I forgot what they were called then. So I'm just doing these little areas here, and then once I finish that, I'll just pull it down a little bit further to create the little flicks at the bottom, and then that is this nail done as well as soon as I'm finished and top coated. Next up is super easy again. I'm going to stop saying that though, because the whole point of this is it's easy designs. And I'm using this new stamping plate here that I got from Amazon recently. I will pop the link in the, no, I won't put the link in the description because it's already in there. If you click my storefront link, these plates, a set of 5 of them, are on my Amazon storefront under nail art, so you can find them there. They are just lovely, lovely plates and they're so cheap. I think I paid about £5.99 for mine, but I have seen they've been fluctuating, so they might be a little bit more, they might be a little bit less, but when I bought them they were a little bit more than £6, but they had a voucher code which brought them down to about £6, so definitely have a look at those. It's still worth it even if they're a little bit more, because you get 5 and they're brilliant. So next we're just using Au Natural as the base colour, because it's going to be like a skin tone sort of colour for this one. And then we're going to use Candy Apples for the top, because it's going to be Santa's hat. We're just bringing it down the side so it looks like his hat's like folded over at the front sort of thing. And then once we finish doing the red for the hat, I do 2 coats of the red just to make sure it's nice and transparent. No, it's not transparent, just to make sure it's nice and opaque and there's no transparent areas. And then once I've done that, we can go in with the white. I'm just using a dotting tool to create like a rough fluffy sort of effect with the white. You can also sugar this as well for a really good effect, but I didn't do that. I just went in with my dotting tool. Now what I should have done at this point is just cleaned up the white dot to the left, like you'll see in a minute because I do fix it at the end with the red, but at this point I could have done it instead of having to do another layer with the red, but you'll know what I mean in a minute and I'll explain in a second. But I'm just doing the bottom as if it was his beard, and then just a bit more of my normal brush out the bottle, just clean it up. Then we're doing 2 eyes and then a pink nose, and then that is it for Santa. Oh no, I'm going to fix what I just told you about. So here I'm going in with the red and just getting rid of that corner of white. I could have just used a clean up brush and just swiped that away. That's what I was talking about. But I didn't. So obviously I'm just fixing it here, but it's not a huge issue anyway, so I wasn't too worried. And then just top coat this one and that's done as well. So next up we're using Mrs. Claus, which is just beautiful, shimmery, sparkly red. I'm just taking off the tacky layer because I just find it easier to do nail art on a matte surface. And then I'm just doing like I suppose it's like a candy cane, but like the round sweet sort of things. I don't know what they're called, but I'm just doing that sort of design, and we're just creating the lines and then filling every other line in with the white. And then once I've done that, this one is done. Super quick, this one. Next up we're using these beautiful blue colours from Blue Sky. I absolutely love this deep blue. The base of this is beautiful. I use it all the time. So I'm just using this glitter to pull it down. You won't really be able to see it as much when I take the tacky layer off to do... No, when I put the velvet top coat on you won't really be able to see it a lot, but I can't get my words out. When I put the velvet top coat on, you'll be able to see it much better. You can't see it a lot at the moment while it's shiny, but we're just doing all the bits that I want matte first, which is the snowfall from the top, the snow at the bottom that our snowman is going to be sat on, and then I'll velvet top coat that, pop it in the lamp, and then I can do my sugared snowman on top. So I'm going to be doing a snowman with the dotting tool. And then once I've finished him, I'm going to pour some acrylic powder over the top of the wet gel and then pop it into the lamp to cure, dust off the excess, and then this nail is also done. But that glitter, as you can see, just really pops when it's matte top coated. Next up, we're going to be doing a cute little penguin. So I'm going to do it on a grey background. Sometimes I do it on a blue, but I do really like the blue background. So it looks like he's like stood in the night or the day, whether it's a light blue or whatever. But I just thought, you know, I always do it on a blue, and I've done a couple of blue nails in this design video already. So I'm going to use grey because I like grey anyway. So I'm just popping the outline down first to get it how I want it before I use the brush from the bottle to fill it in. And once I've done that, I'm only doing one coat because the grey underneath makes the one coat of black perfect coverage anyway. This, I didn't realise I was out of focus for a while, I'm really sorry, but I'm obviously just doing the outline of my white this time, so the exact same as I did with the black, but a little bit further down and a bit smaller with the white. And then I'm going to just fill that in with my brush. So I just do the outline with a nail art brush to make sure it's nice and neat, because I can't quite get it that neat with a big bulky brush when I'm doing just smaller lines. And then once I've done that, I am then a bit safer to go in with my main brush. So I'm just going to do that, and then once I've done that, I'll do a second coat of it. I didn't show you all the second coat because I did go around the outside with my brush again, but I did that. And then 2 larger dots of white, a smaller dot of black in the middle of those for his eyes, and then we did a beak and his little feet at the bottom. And then that is it for this one. Then we just need to top coat and then it's done. Next up, we're going to be doing something slightly different. We're going to be going in with 2 different chromes from Tia's Beauty. They're very similar in colour, but not the same, so you can see the difference between them. You can obviously use this with any colour, but I didn't want to do it with the typical colours that are like reds, blues, greens and stuff. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different for those that are not keen on Christmas colours. And then we're just going to be using a like a full coverage nail stamping plate to finish this one off. So super easy. I'm just popping a coat of base coat down just to protect that chrome, and obviously I don't want to stamp straight onto a chrome. It'll look really rough, sometimes it won't stick, it's a bit of a nightmare. So I'm just taking off the excess bits here because obviously this isn't quite a big enough image to cover the whole nail, so I needed to get rid of some that were like half of a design so that I could then go in with my stamper to basically fill it in, sort of thing, like fill the gap at the bottom, and we're not going to have any half leaves or anything lying around. And then once I've done that, this nail is also done as soon as we've top coated again. So last but not least, we've got the long-winded one till last. I'm then going to be doing a what's it called, a sweater effect sort of design, but we're going to be doing it with colours instead of just the typical like wintry colours. So we're going to be using lavender. This is French lavender from Gel Perfection, and then we'll be using pixie purple as well. Wasn't sure how this was going to turn out, but I actually really liked it. I just went with it. I didn't really plan the design ahead, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, but this time luckily I feel like it did, so that's good. So I'm just popping some spots down the side. I'm going to be doing both colours, so I'm just doing one first, one in the middle, and then in the middle again, and stuff like that, just so it's easy. I did that on both sides, and now I'm putting the acrylic powder, clear acrylic powder, into that and then dusting off, because I like to do it bit by bit with designs like this. When I'm happy with it, I just put it in the lamp, get it cured, and then if I mess up any bits after that, I can just take those off without ruining the whole nail and starting again. So I'm then just going with some lines, so I'm just planning out where they're going to be. So I'm doing the dark purple, which is pixie purple, down the left, just a few lines leading on after each other, and then down the right hand side I'll use pixie purple again, but in the opposite way. So the bottom of the lines on the left are going to be linked up to the top of the lines on the right, so that's what I was going for. So I'm just going to let you watch this bit, and then I will talk to you again when we get to the next bit. So once I'm happy with that, I'm leaving it as it is. I'm then going to pour the acrylic powder over again, because this next bit I didn't want the colours to leak into each other, and again I didn't want to mess it up and then have to start again. So I've just popped that in the lamp with the acrylic on, dusted off the excess, and now I'm going in with French lavender again. I did mix French lavender with a tiny bit of white to do the design on top, just so it stood out from the base, and didn't want it to look exactly the same and blend in too much. So I did add a bit of white to lighten it up a little bit. I'm then just going in with the horizontal lines, meeting from the bottom of the left one to the top of the right. And then once I've done that, I can clear acrylic this as well, pop it in the lamp and dust off the excess. And then that is it for this design, because we don't need to top coat, else it will remove the texture of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know which one was your favourite. I am going to add in a little clip at the end of a picture of all of them, so I won't say bye now because I'll say it twice. But yeah, that's it for this design. Okay, so I've just finished filming this. Obviously, I'm going to voice over the separate bits, so this will sound a bit weird at the end and at the beginning because it's separate, but I'm really happy with how they all turned out. You'll have to let me know which one is your favourite from 1 to 10 in this order, because I love them all, but I really love how this one turned out. It's very different. I haven't done anything like that this year or any year so far, so it's nice to do something a little bit different. And then, yeah, I'm really happy with how they all turned out. I hope you enjoyed it and it was useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back really soon with another video. Bye!